IPAS has been training in crew resource management and human factors for over 2 decades, and in that time and in my career as a military and civilian pilot, I see the same mistakes occurring that result in, at best, inefficiency, which wastes time and money, and, at worst, an accident with loss of life and equipment. Hand in hand with both is the unquantifiable cost in the damage to reputation. After all, who wants to work for an organisation, a department, or a company that is disorganised or unsafe? As part of IPAS's Mission Crew training, we look at specific tasks that a department may undertake and integrate that task into the training in order to provide relevant scenarios that help in teaching lessons. Now take, for example, the lesson outcome of educating a mission crew on the importance of understanding different coordinate systems used in aerial navigation. The grid references used by those on the ground mean nothing to a pilot who uses latitudes and longitudes primarily. This is a barrier to communication and can be overcome if one or both parties understands how to convert from one system to the other. On request from the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries, IPAS was asked to create some scenarios that were relevant to locust plague management. Exercise Hopper was created to achieve this end state.
Yep. So Wayne, you have locusts located on your property?
Yeah, we do, eh?
Whereabouts are they?
Oh, mostly on the north side, from the east to the west end. I have been doing it as I found small bands, but they're really getting here in large numbers now.
In the exercise, trainees are given an aerial photograph showing locust bands, areas of crops or pasture that are being denuded by small locusts known as hoppers. As part of the task scenario, a landowner provides to the trainees just enough detail that they should be able to interpret the aerial photograph and then plot the bands on a topographical map. By doing so, they can then calculate the extent of the bands using the Military Grid Referencing System, or MGRS. MGRS is used by almost everyone using topographic maps. Unfortunately, pilots usually use aerial charts, which do not use MGRS, but use latitude and longitude, so the coordinate system needs to be changed. Once that task is completed, the trainee is required to fill out the appropriate paperwork to request an aviation company to come and spray the locust bands. Part of the paperwork is to review a task description that describes what is expected. The trainee will then complete a risk assessment and identify any hazards such as waterways or livestock that may be affected by aerial spraying. He or she seeks other information such as likely weather, any known low-level obstacles, local landowner contact details, the logistics associated with the task, and so on. The trainee then completes the rest of the required paperwork to request aviation support and then submits that paperwork as part of the exercise. The end state is thus reached and includes the trainee doing the following: understanding the barrier to communication and associated risks to the mission if there is a misunderstanding in the coordinate system, interpreting an aerial photograph and comparing it to a topographical map, and this exercise helps the trainee understand the differences in ground-based navigation versus aerial navigation. The trainee conducts a risk assessment and aviation task briefing in accordance with organisational requirements. The trainee then submits the appropriate paperwork in accordance with the organisational requirements. And finally, the trainee provides evidence for recognition of the qualification. So in one basic exercise, 5 outcomes are achieved, and they help to reinforce those aspects of crew resource management and human factors such as understanding barriers to communication, risk management, local governance requirements, situational awareness, mission planning, and briefing.